Sam from Timor. So what's going on
I
over
got
there, man? So how's the weather in Shanghai?
miserable.
Really? Like
It's
what
been
way?
it's surprisingly
Oh,
cold, and it's also like
okay.
really hazy right now. But prior to this, like last week, it's been really beautiful. It's been a very
Really?
nice winter
Okay.
season. Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you tell me about your little background story?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
So I am originally from the advertising world. I
Okay.
wrote ad and copy for a long time.
Hmm.
And, coffee was one of those things that started off as like, a hobby that quickly took up, most of
Yep.
my morning and then some of my afternoon. And it was something that I just loved to do.
Okay.
And it was, interesting because I was going to the Specialty Coffee Association show. They have one every year in North America in a
That's
different big
right.
city. And I went to the Timemore booth, and I ended up actually connecting with one of the with who turned somebody at the booth. I translated for him because I
Okay.
happened to speak a little bit of Mandarin, and he
No
was just like,
kidding.
do you have 5 minutes to talk?" And I
Hmm.
was like, "I have 5 minutes," and we ended up having a very interesting conversation together. And then by the end of it, he's like, "Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was
Wow.
super exciting. It was like a total dream come true. And since May of this year, I've been at Time More, and I've
Okay.
been helping with global copywriting. So I translate all of our manuals, all of our website stuff. And I also, on the other side of it, I do TikTok videos most recently. So if you
Okay.
follow us at Timemore_official on TikTok, you can see some of the
Okay.
stuff that I've been doing. Yeah.
Fantastic, Sam. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So let's get to the point. All right. So I have this
Hmm.
scale right here. Timer Duo.
Yeah.
All right. So
The duo.
what's the theory behind that?
So, if you think about espresso, right? We're
Yep.
always talking about we're not talking about water in, we're talking about water out, right? So I'm
Hmm.
doing like 15 grams of coffee to like 36 grams of coffee, finished
Yep.
coffee liquid out.
Yep.
And so the duo brings like that same philosophy, to pour over.
Okay.
And it's really funny because, you think like, is this just adding additional complexity? But what it's really doing is it's giving you additional insight into like what's in your cup. And for
Yes.
that, you're able to have more consistency. You're able to adjust ratios on the fly and just generally experiment in coffee in a way that,
Okay.
you aren't able to do without having two scales.
Let me ask you, who's the idea to come up with this product? I'm curious.
I think it was actually kind of like floating around in the community
Okay.
beforehand. Like,
Okay.
actually, one of my good friends here, Woody, what he likes to do is
Okay.
he likes to he was stacking like two scales on top of one another.
Yep.
And this was a much more elegant solution, right?
Okay.
Where you have like
Exactly.
we had a predecessor to this, actually. I'll show you. It's
Yep.
called the Black Mirror 2.
Okay.
Yeah, looks very similar. Let me just pull it down here.
If you are just joining us, I'm here with Sam from Timor, live from Shanghai.
That's right. So over here we have the Duo,
Yep.
and then over here we have the Black Mirror 2. And I'll put the camera down in just a second. I'm sorry I'm moving around
Yep.
so much here.
No, it's okay. That's fine.
So what is nice about this new model is it's much faster, it's more
Yeah.
accurate. We
Hmm.
also have improved flow rate, and we also have, I think, the best feature of them all, um, what do I call this? A telescoping brew dripper.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I could
Yeah.
actually,
Arms. Yep.
basically use this with any kind of carafe, cup,
Yes. Yep.
brewer configuration that I want. So if I have, a Time War dripper, if I have like
Yep.
flat bottom dripper,
Hmm.
everything is compatible with this. And you could also, when you're
Exactly.
done with your brew, swivel it to the side. So you could have like a little catch cup right here,
Yep.
and you just swivel this to the side. Yeah. So
Oh,
super
good.
straightforward and super
Yeah.
easy to
I didn't
use.
know. Yes. Okay. I'm doing it right now, but yeah, that's pretty clever. Because I usually put my drip tray right underneath. But yeah, I
Yeah.
like to put on the side too. That's pretty cool.
If you're
Okay.
fast, you can actually just lift this up and move it, right? But that's what I like to do. But if you want to
Yep.
swivel it too, I mean, it
Sure.
is a world of possibility.
Okay. So I'm about to brew right now. Okay.
Beautiful.
Uh, So I'm using the 078. Oh, yeah. Okay. So how much you know about 078 versus 078S?
I know a little bit. Why don't you try me?
Okay. Okay. The reason why I'm asking you a question because you guys have two model, both 78
Hmm.
millimeter, 78
Yeah.
millimeter burrs there. Because why don't they come up with one grinder with the two burrs instead of a two separate grinder for the brew and espresso?
Well, the 078S can do espresso or can do pour over, as you know. The
Correct.
078 is something that's more targeted to espresso. And I mean, I think that if you're spending that amount of money on a machine, like granted, you want one machine that can rule them all, but at the
Yep.
same time, like you want something that like if you're drinking like one type of coffee over another,
Yep.
maybe I think for some people it made sense to have something that, really excels and goes like that extra mile on
Yep.
whatever, your preferred brew method is.
Exactly. But
On Mhm,
I mean, 078, as you know, I mean, they are amazing with the filter coffee. Okay.
for sure.
I mean, that they are fantastic. But they're using the, turbo birds, right? They kind of like hybrid, ghost birds and regular flat birds come up. So, I mean, whose idea to come up with the turbo birds? And then do you know how long you guys have
Yeah.
been working on that birds?
Man, years. It was
Years.
I think the thing about burrs is it really is kind of a process of trial and error, right? Where
Yep.
you're constantly trying like to you're trying different configurations and you're trying
Hmm.
to see, whether like the adjusting of like the angle of
Yep.
one of the cutting surfaces makes an influence on your coffee. And sometimes it's quite profound, right? So it's at the moment, it's like, I mean, trying to figure out how coffee beans kind of explode or break or scatter.
Yep.
I mean, that is, very much kind of a work in progress. Like we have things which taste good, but I mean, sometimes we're not always sure why. And that science and the science behind how we design burrs is constantly refining
Okay.
and constantly improving. So one of the
Okay.
things that we've been, yeah, go on.
So are you guys planning on coming up with another birds for turbo birds, or you guys stick with that turbo design? Uh,
I don't know if we're going to. What we are
okay.
going to do is we are going to put some effort into, or we are actually putting effort into making a second generation of this, of the
Hmm.
sculptor. But we're still a long ways out from there. We've heard what everybody has to say about it, and like
Yep.
we're on like espresso aficionados Discord. We're watching your videos. We're listening to
Sure.
people as they're using this product, and we're hearing what they have to say. So in terms of like the next burr, um, we do have something coming up in the pipeline that's really interesting.
Okay.
And we're going to also make it a little bit easier. I'll just say this: it's going to be easier to swap your burrs,
Okay.
especially on the 064 model.
Okay, good. Because the 064, 070 as a swapping birds are pain, as you know.
Yeah, and we're working on improving that process. So in
Okay.
the future, it's going to be much easier to like. I mean, if you want to literally like the morning you're brewing coffee and you want to swap your burrs, you'll be able to do that.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay, so right now I'm growing with Timer Duo. Okay, so this is you guys already launched that scale, right? It's been on live right now
Yeah. So
that
we
people can
we just
purchase.
we just launched it like I think within this last week. I mean, with
Yep.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. Yeah.
So by the way, I do have the timer or store link as well on my description. And but I mean, this one pretty much tell me the top number is the weight of the dripper. The
Right.
bottom number, okay, the bottom number is how much we are extracting. Okay. So they give
Right.
you a two different number. Okay.
Correct.
But the interesting part of this brewing method, I mean, whenever you're making espresso, we do like ratios, right? 1 to 2 ratio,
Right.
18 gram in and 36 gram out. But whenever like
Right.
pour over world, we don't talk about the extraction. We talk about how much water we're adding into the dripper. So,
True.
I mean, it's been very interesting time for, a different way of thinking. Okay. I mean, that's for
Right.
sure. So for
So
you, I
like,
mean, so what? Go ahead.
I don't know. Ask away.
So what's the okay? So you guys come up with, I mean, so how you guys envisioning? So people are watching right now. we have this wonderful scale. Tell us the how much water adding it, how much extracting. Okay. I mean, what you guys are kind of like trying to convey that to potential buyers out there. Why this one makes so special?
So I would say that what's nice about it again is like you can kind of figure out like what is ending up in your cup, right?
Sure,
Because
exactly.
with pour over, we always know kind of what our inputs are. We know, for example, how
Yep.
much coffee we're adding. We know how much water we're adding. But at the same time, we don't always know, like, I mean, how much the coffee bed is absorbing, right? And so,
Yes.
I mean, there's dozens of different variables. I mean, everything from like the carafe, the type of filter we're using, whether
Hmm.
it's a flat bottom or conical filter. These are all factors that we have to like take into consideration. So
Okay.
this allows you to like remove one less variable, which is like, I mean, how much water your coffee bed's absorbing, and brew something much more consistent. So we've been doing some testing and we found that if you're going in with like a 1 to 15 ratio, you're usually
Yep.
actually getting something closer to a 1 to 13 or maybe even a 1 to 12.5 ratio out, right?
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I added 250 grams of water. I extracted about 215 grams out. Okay.
Hmm.
250 to 215. So so I don't know. We gotta do the quick math there, but it's definitely not a 1 to 15 ratio. Okay. So we are
For sure.
about 30 gram, approximately like 30 gram absorbed water right here. Okay, in the bed.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay. So tell you what, let me do this. I'm going to walk you
Mhm.
through a
Yep.
really cool brew method. Okay.
Okay.
So if you think about, I'll put this online for everybody in a little bit, but let me show you
Okay.
what we're doing. So if you think about how flavors are extracted, I mean, kind of
Uh-huh.
in the different phases of your brew method. First, we have acidity, then sweetness,
Yep.
then we have bitterness, and then we have astringency, right? And
Okay.
we want to kind of, skip the astringency part altogether. So that's
Okay.
kind of like the really strong, kind of when you have like green tea or something and it dries out in
Yep.
your mouth, right?
Yep.
You almost pucker a little bit. So what we're really playing with is the acidity, right? Um, and we want maximum sweetness and minimum bitterness, right? And so
Okay.
we built with Lin Dongyuan, who is a Taiwanese barista.
Okay.
He owns a number of coffee shops called Kapi Dian, and he's been
Okay.
doing it since I believe 2002. He's immensely talented, and he came up with this recipe that
Okay.
actually utilizes the water out. So what he
Okay.
does, like let's say we have like a 15-gram recipe here, right?
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a 30-gram, 30-second bloom, very standard, right?
Okay.
And we're going to be looking at the water total. On the other side of that, once that's done, we're going to actually start building our recipe around the amount of water that we have out. So once we have, our bloom flow through, then we're going to pour until we have 65 grams of water out. And this is going to be
Okay.
one complete pour, right? So we're
Okay.
going to pour kind of at a medium flow rate, 5 to 7 grams, and then we go up to or we go down to a lower flow rate. And the idea behind this is that, with a medium flow rate, we're kind of splitting the difference between with a faster pour, it's less sour. With a slower
That's right.
pour, it's more sour, right? So we're right down the middle. With sweetness, we obviously want to maximize that. So we're going to use a low flow between 3 to 5 grams a second. And then
Okay.
with bitterness, we obviously want to minimize that, right? So we'll to give the sweetness a maximum amount of time to kind of display in the cup and to extract as much as we possibly can of those compounds. We're going to actually let that draw down completely, and then with our third and final pour, that's going to be a fast flow rate. And then what we can do is we can kind of just pour super fast, much faster than you ever would, like if you were brewing normally, right? Like with a
Okay.
conventional scale. And so you can like literally pour between 8 to 11 grams a second, and you'll be able to stop that once you see the target drawdown, which is going to be 195 grams, and this is for 15 grams. So
Man.
if you
Okay.
want, yeah,
Go ahead.
I know it's a little crazy, but
I mean,
what this go on?
this scale, the right on the middle. Okay. Hopefully, I can show it to the viewers. The right on the middle, you see that number is the flow rate.
That's correct.
So you can measure how fast or how slow water is coming down to the craft. Okay. I mean, if you want to really maximize this scale,
Right.
You really need to take advantage of all the features on this scale, right? So
Right.
have you tried with that recipe already?
I've been brewing with it all day
Okay.
yesterday and well, really all week.
Okay. And
So
then you feel like you think you got it down?
I think I got it down. So I can walk you through it. Actually,
Okay,
I got
that's
my
great. Good.
water here. I got the sculptor over here. So we could brew
Excellent.
it together. I could walk you
Yeah.
through doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is
Okay.
I just brew, okay, regular brew right here. My standard brew, 1 to 15
Hmm.
ratio, 1 to like 16 ratio, 15 gram going in, about I add about 250 grams of water. Okay. But so
Okay.
now we come up with this coffee. So this time, we're gonna follow Sam's recipe here right now, and then let's brew it. All right. So I'm gonna use the exact same coffee as well. Should be very interesting. Okay. Okay. So which temperature are you gonna use? Water temp. Or it doesn't
I'm
really
going to.
matter.
Well, tell you what. Tell me about what kind of coffee you have there, and I'll be able to give you a
Okay.
better idea.
So this is a co-fermentation coffee. Okay. So it's more
Okay.
like yeah, and fermentation coffee, anaerobic, more like anaerobic process in a way.
Hmm.
Is a more like medium to light roast coffee.
Gotcha.
So which coffee do you have?
So if you're doing like a medium to light roast, I think you could probably do 93 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah, you
And
could. I think.
uh,
Mhm.
which coffee you gonna use?
Are you doing a washed or a natural over there? I'll do
You
something to match you.
Yeah. So why don't you go like natural processed coffee?
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. I got
Natural.
a. I do. I have a Kenyan natural right here.
Okay. Do you have any like anaerobic processed coffee?
I think I do have a. I don't know if I have an anaerobic. Let's see. I'm gonna reach behind the coffee bar here and see if I have
Okay.
something. Let's see. I don't
If
know if
you're
I have.
okay, let's go to natural. That's fine. If
Yeah,
you're
we'll just.
joining us, I'm here with the Sam from Timer, live from Shanghai right now. So, are you living there permanently, or are you there like uh, for a few months out of year?
I'm here permanently. I'm here full time.
No
Yeah,
kidding. Wow.
it's amazing. It's a great place to live, and I have to say it's been probably like the 7 best months of my life. I've never had more fun or learned more. Yeah,
How's your Mandarin? Are you getting better at it?
every day I'm getting a
Good.
little better.
Excellent. Okay. How many grams are you gonna use? 15 gram?
I'm going to use 15 grams for this recipe. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get my. I have my fancy DJI Osmo here, which is not playing very nicely with me. So sorry
Okay.
about that.
It's all right. And then, are you gonna use the Crystal Eye brewer?
Yeah, we're going to use a crystal eye dripper for this.
Yep. Good. Excellent.
I'm going to use the turbo, which I could
Okay.
also walk you through. It's actually a more interesting product or more interesting dripper. One of
A
the most
turbo.
interesting drippers. Yeah, the turbo.
Oh,
This is the follow-up to our original crystal eye.
no kidding. I don't think I have that one. Okay, I do
Oh,
have
we'll
the
have to
just
get it to
regular.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
One
Which paper are
second.
you gonna use? Are you using the regular V60 paper?
Yeah, we're going to use the regular V60
Okay.
paper, so
Good.
or our version of it.
Okay.
All right. Let me see here. Just gonna flip over the camera. There we go. Beautiful. Lovely. There we are. Everybody can see clearly. We'll keep that
Yep.
nice and okay.
Okay. Can you zoom in, Sam?
Yes, I can. It's
Okay.
gonna be
Good.
a manual zoom. Just bear with me.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we
Okay.
go.
So
Perfect. Kind of. There we are. That's just what we want. Perfect.
I need some more water.
Let's go make some coffee.
Okay.
Okay. So I got my filter paper that's over here. We're going to use. I'm going to brew into a carafe this morning. Tell you what. I'll show you the black setup. It's pretty fly.
Okay.
Yeah, all in black.
What is your target time for this recipe?
Actually, I would say maybe 2 minutes.
2
Super fast brew
minutes.
time.
Wow. Okay.
2 minutes.
Which grind size are you gonna use?
I would suggest using grind setting 9.
9. Okay.
9. Yeah. If you want, you could either try maybe 9, 8.5.
Okay. Let's go to 9 here. Do you play with the RPM much, Sam?
I do. So
Okay. Which
for
RPM?
if you're actually grinding right now for an anaerobic, I'd probably suggest doing about 1400 RPM, just like right down the middle.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let me give this a little rinse.
There's 1400 RPM.
1400 RPM.
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment.
All right. I got.
Beautiful. Okay,
I
I'm
got.
catching up with you real quick.
I got.
Okay, my water on the heat.
Yep. I got 15 gram going in right now.
Okay, great. And let me use my natural that I have here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if you're just joining us, we are here with the Sam from Timemore.
All right.
And then he's going to show us. So we just make the regular brew with the dual scale, and then Sam's going to walk me through this special recipe using the Timemore Duo scale. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let me make sure this is at grind setting 9. I'm going to do 9 for
Okay.
this guy. Beautiful.
Are you using the 078, right? Not the 078
We're using the
X.
078. Right.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and start.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So what is the first step? So how many grams are you gonna?
We're gonna start off with we started off by grinding 15 grams of coffee,
Yep.
and then we're gonna go ahead and give our filter a little shake, just level the bed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're because we're doing your anaerobic natural, I think we could probably do about 93 on that. It's about a
Yep.
medium light roast,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do, Hoon, is we're going to start with with 30 grams of a 30 gram bloom, okay?
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is you're going to try to pour in 2 phases, but it's going to be one complete pour, okay?
Okay.
We want to I hope this isn't too much, but what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do 65 grams of
Okay.
coffee. So from 30 to 65 after our initial bloom, we're going to try to pour like 5 to 7.
Okay.
And I'll do it right along with you. And then after that, we're going to do a lower flow. So that's going to be about 3 to 5 grams until we hit 130 grams of coffee out. Okay. So we're
okay.
not
So okay. So we're gonna start with what? 30 grams to bloom.
right. So we're going to be starting with 30 grams to bloom.
Okay. So 30 grams output, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
I'm gonna move my fancy sculptor here, and then
Okay.
I'll set it so that you get a better view of what we're doing over here.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. So we'll start with our 30 gram bloom.
Okay. So
And then I'll
30
give you
grams.
okay?
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
So we're gonna go. Well, how much add to the bed? 30 gram first or 30 gram output?
We're gonna do 30 gram out. We're gonna do 30 gram to the bed only.
Okay.
So this is the only time when we're looking at the weight for both.
Yep. And how long you like to wait?
We could wait up to 30 seconds. Just kind of
Okay.
standard. If you want, you could also shorten this phase.
Yep.
I can
So
help
right
you
now,
down.
I'm at 35 seconds right now. And then what's next?
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to now start pouring medium flow. That's going to be 5 to 7 grams a second. Okay. And then we're going to pour to 65 grams. Okay. Tell me when you're 65.
Okay, I'm at 65.
Great. You're going to go ahead and you're going to go over to a low setting, okay? So you're going
Okay.
to be pouring 3 to 5 grams, and you're just going to go until you get 130 grams out. So
Okay.
this time we're
Three to
looking at 130 grams, like in the coffee receptacle.
okay, got it. 3 to 5. 135, you say?
Yeah, or 130.
130. Okay.
Just as long as you're in the ballpark, it'll taste great.
Yeah. Okay, 130.
Great. You're going to let that go right until it's about to fully draw down, okay?
Okay.
And then once it's about to fully draw down, you're going to go super fast. So like, I mean, pour basically as fast as your kettle can go.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to aim for 195 grams of coffee out.
Okay.
So like 195 grams of coffee, like in the carafe over here. Beautiful.
195.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Nice.
tricky though. You know what I mean? Because the craft for 195, but still you're gonna have the water in the bed as well, right?
Well, you're going to, yeah. So all you need to do, this is actually the easiest pour of the bunch. So for
Okay.
me, I'm just hitting drawdown, right? Or I'm just, my
Yep.
bed is, that
Yep.
last bit of water that trickling through, we still want to keep the pressure of that, right? So now
Yep.
I can pour super fast. You see, like I'm pouring,
Yep.
15
Yep.
or between 10 to 15 grams a second right here. All right. And then I could pour all the way to the top. I could do whatever I want. And then what I
Yep.
can do, because I have that constant water pressure, is that once I hit 195, I could
Yep.
just stop the whole thing by either swiveling it, or I could just
Okay.
put my little cup here and put it right on top.
Okay. You want me to step at 195, Sam?
Yeah. When you have
Okay.
your drawdown,
Yep.
195 grams of coffee out, stop there.
Okay, good. So right now, so this is the 195.
Yeah. Perfect. So if you're at 195, just move the whole setup off
Yep.
of your drip. Beautiful.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
All right. So I'm now
Good.
I'm a little bit behind you here. So I'm now
That's okay.
195. Perfect. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
All right. That's it. And
All right.
that's all
So
there is to it.
let's give it a
Otherwise,
try.
you can swivel, but I feel like it can make, unless you're quick on the draw, it's sometimes easier just to move the catch cup
Yep.
or move the dripper to a different cup. Let me get
Yep.
a cup to try this. I'm also going to flip you around in a second so I can see you, because I have it on a rear-facing camera here.
Okay. So if you are joining us, we are Sam from Timer. We just brewed together. Yeah, smells pretty good. Here you go, Sam. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks again
Right.
for having me. Oh my gosh. Long time listener, first time caller.
Hold on. Okay, so I need to compare with my other coffee versus this one.
That's great.
Yeah. It's definitely different. Seems like more juicy and sweeter, whatever reason.
100%. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sculptor at its best. I mean, the 078 is a fruit bomb. It has a lot, it can really bring forward a lot of those
Yep.
characteristics. And then, I mean, if you want, you can now play with the acidity, either by lengthening or shortening the bloom, or by
Exactly.
changing, or you could like change the acidity phase, the acidity pour, that first pour.
Okay,
And
so this is like new way of brewing.
it is a new way of brewing. This is an all new technique.
Okay, so you know what? Oh, Sam, so you're going to put the recipe on the maybe put it on the comment section after that, okay? And then I'm
I'll
gonna
go
pin
ahead and
it.
I'll upload it for everybody to take a look at.
Yeah,
I actually
yeah,
designed this schematic myself.
yeah. So I mean, it'd be great. So again, it's this completely different way of thinking. I definitely needs to practice more, but I think I got that idea. Okay,
That's
I
great.
got the idea as well. So by the way, so is that timer having a sale right now for
We
the?
actually just had our sale, like our big sale finished, but I do believe that depending where you are in the world, we still have the pre-order going for the Duo. So I think like in the
Okay.
EU, it's down to like 127.5 euros.
Okay.
Um, on the other side of the planet in the States, I think you get a free fridge magnet.
Okay.
A
So
free
by the way, so
magnet.
I do have a 10% off coupon code for the timer as well. I have the link down below. So take advantage of that. Okay. You're gonna save yourself, a few bucks. That's for sure. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So comes to grinders, the hand grinder.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay. So you have amazing timer, right? The sculptors are fantastic.
right.
And then is that the latest grinder, latest hand grinder, they are different than old one? Because I have a chestnut here,
Yeah.
old chestnut. Is that no newer ones are I mean, what's the difference between chestnut versus the latest your C3?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me show you. Let me see. Get the C3. C S.
Yeah, S3, right? Yeah. Is it S3
Mm-hmm.
or C? Yeah.
So we have the C3S here, and then we also have the S3.
Yep.
So, I mean, the grinders, in terms of sizing, they're pretty dramatically different, right? The S3 is our first model with external adjustment,
That's
and
right.
it also
Yep.
has like a signature pull-to-fold handle
Yep.
that was actually invented by our founder.
Hmm.
It has recommended grind settings printed on the inside. It's
Okay.
actually really the adjustment mechanism for us. I'll give you a close-up here. Was
Yeah.
actually inspired by like the aperture dial of the camera. We made it so that it feels very similar to kind of adjusting your camera.
Yep.
It also has an improved bearing system in there, so the
Hmm.
tolerances in there are super, super fine. So, when people say like you're getting, 12 microns of travel, with ours, you really are getting, super precise travel between the clicks. So
Okay.
even though it's a step grinder, I mean, the points of travel are so small that you could dial in anything from espresso to French press on here.
Okay. So
The
but
other
here,
cool thing.
go ahead.
Mhm. The last thing here is that we have a dropout burr system. So
Uh-huh.
if when it comes to cleaning and maintenance, everything here just drops right out.
Oh, no
Super
kidding.
easy to clean. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Screwed.
So
Steady crash.
have you guys thought about like design the birds that specialize in pour over coffee only like 078?
Thought about designing a pour over coffee for the 078.
No, for the hand grinder that, just like 078, specialize in pour over coffee only for hand grinder.
We've tried it, but
Okay.
what we just to do instead is we wanted to do something a little bit different where we were trying to make just as you asked earlier, we wanted to make a true multi-purpose hand
Okay.
grinder. So that was kind of our first big breakthrough is our next generation of birds, whether you're looking at our M01 or
Hmm.
the S3 over here, what as if you're like in the espresso range, you have higher distribution of fines than if you go to pour over, and that and proportionally, the level of fines completely vanishes.
Okay.
So when you're making a pour over, it tastes great, and then when you're making an espresso, like it still has enough fines that it pulls very nice and still kind of has like that perfect balance between like body and like flavor separation clarity.
I see.
So yeah, with our new hand grinders, like those are going to be truly multi-purpose rather than having something dedicated specifically for pour over or specifically for espresso. We'll still have some of those products. I'm not sure if we're going to do something specifically for pour over, but for espresso, I know we will.
Okay. Are you guys okay? So I'm here's a like off topic, but I guess you guys think about making like some kind of machine, like coffee machine. You guys,
Hmm.
you guys are talking about that internally, perhaps?
Yeah, a coffee machine. We actually have Meraki, who's one of our sister companies. I mean, I know that you've had
Okay.
it recently.
Okay.
Um,
So let me ask you. So
yeah.
which bird design is a Moroccan inside has? You know what I mean? Kind of what's the remind people? I know a lot of people has yours a timer hand grinder. Okay, so which
Mhm.
grinder is similar to that Meraki?
I would say probably the C3 is
C3.
probably the
Okay.
closest to that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it has a newer generation of burr in there, but I could also check for you.
And okay, so according to Meraki, and then you guys are going to service that machine through your time or service center as well. So that is the plan.
That's right. We're working on setting up the logistics for that so that, when as more and more of these units kind of start shipping around the world, we'll be able to handle them. We already
Okay.
have that infrastructure in place here in China where we're able to, have people send us, smaller products. A lot of our products, like
Yep.
even the are on the smaller side, the Meraki is definitely one of the larger ones out there. But we're
Hmm.
working with providers and like with, all the stakeholders to make sure that like we can accept them and work on them and make and get those products serviced and returned to our customers. Yeah.
That's fantastic because I know, you guys been around for a while. You guys are a solid company. So I know a lot of
Mhm.
people are a little wary about, Meraki because they're a startup company, right? The Kickstarter. So, but as long as, you guys are, they are using their service center, people is going to be a little easier, right? You know,
Yeah.
have that comfort. That's for sure.
So I will say, like right off the bat, I mean, Meraki is, I mean, even though this is like their first product, I mean, it's incredibly mature. I mean, we've had all the pre-production units circling
Hmm.
or cycling through the office here, and I've been
Yep.
amazed kind of like by the strides that they make with each iteration. So I
Yep.
mean, if you like look at earlier models, like I mean, the brew paddle, like when you're turning the
Yep.
water on and off, like I mean, that was a little bit flimsy. It was like the one
Yep.
part of the grinder or the one part of the Meraki that just didn't feel all that great to use. We swapped that from plastic to metal, and so even kind of like with like that first generation of testers, like I
Yep.
mean, the rest of the coffee community, everything that people came forward with, we tried to kind of iterate or build or help them, or they rather try to build all of that into the product.
So,
So,
and so Meraki and Timer, they're pretty close relationship, or you guys just handle the grinder side only?
so they actually have, they're our sister company. So
Okay,
we
so
help
okay,
them kind of, yeah, we help them with the grinder technology. The rest of it is all Meraki.
okay,
Yeah, I
sounds
should
good.
clarify. Hmm.
But hey,
And,
hold on one second.
and
Okay, Sam.
yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, as more of these units start shipping, I really want to get one.
Hey, Sam, can you take over for a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. I copy people. So, well, Hoon is actually taking off from his shop for a few moments. What we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and make another coffee. And this time I'm going to use a washed Kenyan. So let me get this to start heating up again. And what I'll also do is let me go ahead and look at all the different questions that we had out here. So let me scroll up to the top and then I'll kind of answer the questions. Hi, Luke. It was awesome meeting you out there in Copenhagen. All right. Oh yeah, Jill. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed your coffee in Malaysia. Hoon, the wave filters. I can. When he comes back, I'll show him one of our wave filters. What else we got here? Yeah. So I know 9 is very coarse, Seth. But what's actually kind of really cool about that is it doesn't have any of like those what do I want to say? It tastes great. Even when you're like, I mean, I remember dialing this in on much finer grind settings. And then when I went coarse, I found that like it ended up producing, I think, probably one of the best coffees of the bunch. So it has like really good clarity. I think really good flavor separation. It's worth trying. So I mean, don't feel like you have to stick to a specific grind setting. Experiment widely. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. What coffee am I using next? So we're going to use a Kenyan coffee. This is a washed Kenyan double A coffee. And we'll make a little pour over for everybody who's just kind of hanging out over here. Randy, I'm glad that you got to see Dolly come on Hoon's live stream. I also watched that. I thought she was awesome. Yeah, I got it. Water is finally boiling. We're getting there, and we're at 76. I'm gonna actually just top this up real quick, guys. I got a giant thing of water right here. I'm gonna try real hard to pour this.
Yeah, he
And
better
I'll
be
fill it.
explaining to him.
All right, there we go.
Sure this. I make sure you know what this is that's what it is. Drop. No, we just kind of talk off.
So,
He'll play those games and
really elegant. Okay, so what we're gonna do now? Let me show you guys what we're gonna do. We're going to once again do 15 grams.
All right, Sam. Thank you so much for covering for me.
Oh man, we ran out the clock.
Okay, good. Okay, so now, all right. So that's great. Okay, so let's.
Are you there with me, honey? Gotcha.
Good, perfect, good. Okay, so we are. So let's see here. All right. We got. Did you see so many questions from our viewers, or what did I miss?
I was actually just scrolling through the questions that everybody was
Okay.
asking and responding to the comments.
I know someone asked me about am I Korean or not, and some people thinks that you're from like Japan. Is it?
I don't know. I think they're. I'm from Hawaii, actually.
Yeah. So the Sam is from Hawaii, by the way, guys. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
definitely not from Japan. Okay. So your family in Hawaii right now?
They recently moved to Chicago at the beginning of the pandemic. I guess that's not super recent, but yeah, Hawaii is
Okay.
very much.
All right. Good. So are you going to Houston in April?
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll also be
Perfect.
there in San Diego, and I think we're going to be, if you're abroad, I know we're going to be in Dubai for sure.
Wow, that's exciting, man. What a job you have. Yeah,
It
what a
is.
job you
It
have.
is the coolest.
I mean, is that is that your dream job for you, Sam?
Yeah, so I write all of the copy
Hmm.
for our website, for our manuals. If you look at
Okay.
actually our Duo, which I have over
Yeah.
here, I designed the peel offs, or I helped design, I should say. It was definitely a collaborative process. I designed like the little sticker that comes on your unit that helps
Yes.
you familiarize yourself with like all the functions. Yeah.
So
So
what is
I
your
spent.
background? You see, you told me your background in advertising.
That's right. So formerly I was working in advertising.
Okay.
I've also done kind of freight and logistics for a little while in Chicago,
Okay.
which I didn't like. And coffee was definitely kind of that, that through line
Okay.
that every time I got home, like that was always what I was looking forward to doing. Or I was so excited, about making coffee that I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. That was just like, I
Wow.
can't wait to wake
Good.
up tomorrow and like make coffee all over again.
Sam, so what is your home setup like at home? What is your home
So,
coffee bar setup like?
okay. At home, I have a Timemore Smart, a Fish Smart kettle. And
Okay.
then that's like, we have two different models, right? So we have the Smart and the Pro. And the difference is actually really in the spout.
Okay.
Uh, what's neat about like the Smart is like it's super easy to pour with. Like, I mean,
Yep.
if you just like tip the kettle, like you're going to get a
Yep.
really consistent pour, right? The Pro, on the other hand, like is a lot more variable, but I'm really learning to love it. I
Okay.
have a Pulsar dripper. I have an April dripper. I'm
Yep.
like you. Like I've watched all your videos, and I got all the different toys.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was because of you. I ended up getting like 4, 5 grinders. Like at home, I have a Sculptor 078, which I backed
Okay.
day one on Kickstarter.
Okay.
I got my sister a Mill Lab.
Okay.
Yeah, the E01. And I don't want to say how many Easy Espresso grinders I have because it's embarrassing. Sometimes
Ah,
Time War's a little bit hard to get out in the States, but in the last year, they've really improved distribution. So it's a lot easier now, I
okay.
should say. Uh,
Wow.
and what else do I have? I also have a Wakako, Wakako
Wakako.
hexagram
Yep. What?
scale.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like the work that they did. I met them at the SCA show earlier this year.
Okay.
They're really cool people.
So I mean, so you guys talk with people from Easy Presso as well?
Not so much. We do
Okay.
see them at the show. Every
Okay.
once in a while, we give them a big wave.
I know because I mean, you guys are like big competitors, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't really think about them as competitors. I think at the end of
Okay.
the day, I know it sounds kind of like, of course you do, but really, we're all trying to bring coffee forward. We're
Yep.
trying to make sure that people are enjoying their coffee more, and it's very much kind of a community. If one of us wins, all of us wins,
Yep.
and we're able to kind of share in that knowledge together. So I think like there's plenty of room like out there for what Easy Espresso does, and I think there's a lot of room for what we do as well.
How's the coffee scene in Shanghai?
The coffee scene here is amazing. So
Yeah.
Shanghai is blessed among the Chinese cities because it actually has the most number of coffee shops of any city in China.
Okay.
Uh, they also have a lot of really good local chains, and
Okay.
you also can try all kinds of coffees from either Hainan, or you could also try coffee
Una.
from Yunnan, which is much more
Okay.
popular.
Yeah. Is a who? Okay. So I tried the coffee from Yunnan. Okay.
Yeah,
It tastes like wine.
it can.
Okay. So there's I don't know. This natural process coffee. I think yes. So
Oops.
so
So we
how's the
got the
co-
Yunnan.
you okay?
What was that? Yeah,
How's
I'm
the
good.
coffee from How's the coffee from China? I mean, China is
The
not
coffee.
known for coffee.
I think a big part of that is because coffee culture in China is so new.
Okay.
The uptake in like the quality of equipment, what people
Hmm.
are doing here. We have like two or three Q graders in the office here at Timemore alone, right?
Wow.
So the knowledge is there, but I think what's happening right now is we're seeing people kind of build up those trade relationships, right?
Okay.
Um, a lot of people have been in, or a lot of those uh, like distributors and importers have been in coffee for such a long time, and those relationships are still very new in China. And so as like they deepen, I think Chinese coffee will become more popular around the world. I think it really has to do ultimately with getting coffee in, and then the other challenge is probably just getting coffee out. Like
I
it's
know.
really hard, for example, to find Yunnanese coffee in the States.
Sure, it is, right? Because I know
Yeah,
because of some equipments in China, we never heard of it in States, but in China they're so well known, right?
for sure.
I mean, but you guys have a lot of high quality equipments there, but we don't know not much about. So
Yeah.
especially like coffee machines, man, I mean
Hmm.
it's crazy. Okay. I know you guys are using some really incredible machine, very cost, affordable as well because we always compare it to a machine from Italy, right?
Yeah.
They're like $2,000-$3,000. You can get the exact same machine in China for half the price. So I mean,
Yeah.
it is definitely interesting time.
I think you definitely speak to a really interesting trend in coffee right now where things are getting where the quality that you can get at different price points
Hmm.
is so much better than it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like the difference between like coffee culture and like circa 2017 to like coffee now, it's
Yep.
insane. Like the development, the fact that we have so much more knowledge out there in terms of like the sculpture grinder on Time War side was like a huge breakthrough, right?
y-
uh, because even for the company, like it was like the culmination of like years of design, years of tinkering, years of experience. We
Yep.
actually own our own factories, and being able to like control every part of that design process was actually critical. So I'll say this: our head designer, his name is Yue,
Hmm.
and when he
Hmm.
was designing this, he said, when I first started doing coffee, I didn't really, think too much about anything other than what I was looking at the page, right?
Yep.
Like I would look at my design and that was kind of it. And as he was designing, more and more products, he started thinking about like, how does it feel if I'm touching it? How does it like look like? How does it sound like? So they spent so much time just making sure that every part of like the grinder feels good. So like the rotary knocker, we actually have a prototype here in the office. And
Okay. Yep.
when you twist the knocker, like
Yep.
it's earth shaking. It's insane. But you have felt that it was like way too aggressive. So they scrapped that design and then they made it a lot more pleasant to click. It doesn't snap the way it used to, but it still does a good job of dislodging those fines. So, because you have that attention to design, that attention to detail, it's like And a lot of that is ultimately going to be exported, to the world.
Yep.
Because I mean, the Chinese coffee market, while big, is still not as big as the global coffee market. It's like more and more of these great products, whether that's an espresso machine or grinders, what have you, like all of that is going to eventually probably like propagate, throughout the coffee scene, wherever you may be.
You guys in pipeline for large birds for the 078, the sculptor line, the large birds like 98 perhaps?
We're thinking about it.
You
I
guys are thinking
think
about it.
we're thinking about it.
Okay.
It's there's design challenges that come along with it, but we're very much tempted by the design. What's nice about our 78 burrs is that because of the way that they are designed, like with the screw holes, you actually
Yep.
get more surface area than a lot of the other 78 burrs, or it's kind of a weird
That's
or
right.
a non-standard size, right? But the advantage with arbors, whether that's the 64 or 78, like they have larger than average surface area,
Yep.
for their specs. And so for that reason, you do end up getting like a little bit more performance. Like that pushes you up to like, 65, 66.
You know
You
what?
get extra cutting surface.
I'm telling you because 078 I've been using for quite some time now. I mean, this grinder is just fantastic. Okay,
It's great,
I
right?
mean, I'm using my EK43 you are looking at here. I use that for
Yeah.
filter coffee only. Okay. Time
Hmm.
to time, 078 is as good as the
Right.
EK43. So I mean, this is such fun time for if you're a coffee hobbyist.
100%.
You have so much options, and yeah, I mean, this is great time. By the way, so when is your holiday season for you guys? Because I know you guys like take like month up, right? When is that?
We in China actually we have very little time off, and they also do this fun thing called 退休, where you
Okay.
actually swap out, where you have to work to make up the days that you take off, right?
Oh,
So, for example, like let's say you get like a Monday off, you're working Saturday to make up for that Monday. It's not great,
wait, hold
but
on.
the next.
Because I mean, I thought you
Mhm.
guys closed down the factory for like month for the holidays. You guys
we
not
do
doing it then?
we do give like what happens is that it's not necessarily just our factory, it's like the entire world
Yes.
here shuts
Yep.
down kind of at different times, and so it makes it really hard to get materials in to
Ah,
fix, to kind of manage manufacturing. It's like it ends up it makes sense, kind of during, if you're talking about our factory, that does shut down. But for us, we are here in the office.
mhm.
We're here for the most part. But our next big holiday, as you know, is going to be Spring Festival. So like that's going to be during the like very last week of January, and then that first full week of February. That's Spring
Okay.
Festival.
Okay, got it.
Hmm.
So now by the way, Sam is joining us. You are on Saturday morning over there. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, he's joining us on his is it your day off today, Sam, or
It's my day off. But I mean,
oh
this is like,
goodness.
yeah, this was something I really wanted to do. So I'm overjoyed to be here with you.
You know what? I'm so glad because when I talked to you, I thought you are Chinese, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I did not expect, some, someone from Hawaii.
American. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm the first foreign employee at Timemore. It's I don't want to say it's a tremendous honor because that sounds a little trite, but it's like
It is. Come on.
it is a
You
huge
know,
honor. It's
it
amazing.
is.
Like I mean, I
Yeah.
feel so moved by it. It's like the talented people that I get to work with every day, the products that we get to design, like the work that I get to do. It's like it's extremely exciting. I mean, and above all, to do something that I love, that all of us love. I think to have a hand, like to be able to talk to
Sure.
you, somebody I've like watched hours and hours of, just like making coffee like in your shop. I mean,
It's fun. You know what?
I want to pinch myself. Yeah,
As you can see, I mean, this is my setup, but I don't feel like I'm coming to work every day, right? This more like
absolutely.
playtime. Talking to all of you guys. We got, about 50 people watching right now, talking to every one of you. Look at your
Mhm.
comments. We're just having a conversation. I mean, it is a lot of fun. Okay. By the way, what is your dream setup like? So, money is not the issue, Sam. What is your coffee bar like at home?
This is gonna sound really silly, but I
Okay.
have a cafe lot robot, and I
Okay.
already got my dream setup. I love the cafe lot robot so much. It's like it's my favorite object. It's
Okay. All right.
so. Yeah, if I'm brewing espresso, right? I
Okay.
mean, I granted you can't pull singles on it, but everything else
Yeah.
you can do. You could doubles, you could do triples. I love the design of it. It's just it
Okay.
makes me feel so happy to use it.
Okay.
If I could, I actually, if I just have like the 078S, I know that
Okay.
like I'm perfectly content with the coffee that it
Hmm.
makes. I mean, really kind of, I've been fortunate enough to try some really cool grinders out there, and
Sure.
at that point, you really start chasing diminishing returns.
Oh, it is.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, I would also like to maybe have like a milk frother, like a subliminal milk
Okay.
frother or something
Okay.
like that. That would be nice. For my pour over setup, I think honestly, like I'm
I think you got to set
so
up. Yeah.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, you
Yeah.
already see, like I mean, we're looking at my dream setup, like
Oh, yeah.
078, like a duo. Oh, and I
Yeah.
want to show you something really cool. This is like
Go ahead.
our new kettle. I don't know if we've actually announced this yet, but I wanted you. We talked to the team and we wanted to show you this.
Okay.
This is the Fifth Pro X, and what's insane about it is it has super fast temperature change. I don't know if you can
Okay.
see, but like I could literally swipe all the way
Oh,
down to like
wow.
different settings. Yeah. We get like 0.5 degree increments.
Okay.
And it also has really fast preheating. And what's crazy about it is like it can go straight to the setting that you choose, right?
Hmm.
Like let's say it's 93, and
Yep.
it doesn't do that thing where it cycles on and off. It's just one continuous power source.
No kidding. So you gotta stay in that temperature.
Yeah, and so how a lot of kettles, what they'll do is like they'll drop 3 or 5 degrees centigrade and then
I
they'll go
know.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, this
Exactly.
does not do that. When they told me, I was like, I must be misunderstanding them. Like, because there's no way they do that. But they actually figured out how to build a predictive algorithm around where your water temperature is going to be. And what that
So
means is
just
that it's
stay
going to
there.
be like, yeah. So it's exactly at like 93 degrees. And it varies by 0.5 degrees maximum. So it's like super,
Wow.
super consistent. Once you lock in that heat, it's at 93 degrees for up to like an hour. There it is. It's already done.
Yep. Hey, Sam, are you planning on like making posts on your Timer website or the YouTube channel to kind of like guide brew, kind of like the best practice for your dual scale?
We absolutely are. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that this recipe is not the easiest one out there. I mean,
Nope.
it's a little complicated. So what we did is we created a schematic,
Okay.
and you could like print it out like I did. I'll send it to you,
Okay.
and we could like if you want, we could do like another brew session later, or you could
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
with
We
it.
do. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
and you'll find like it's really fun. It's really adaptable. We'll throw it up on the website. I'll put it
Yep.
on my Google Drive in the meantime,
Okay.
so that when we're done with this stream, I'll send it to you, and you can like maybe put it in the description
Yep.
of this video.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and
think that's again. I mean, this is a different way of thinking, different way of brewing. So, I mean, like you say, it's not the easiest recipe, but once you get used to it, I bet you people is going to get hang of it, and then you're going to come back
yeah,
to different results for sure.
I
That's for
think
sure.
absolutely. And we could do more of a deep dive, but I will say this: like if it's all too much to kind of handle, like I mean, the most fun that you can have is like doing that insane third pour,
Hmm. Yep.
where you can do like crazy pours that just aren't usually possible when
Hmm.
you're like doing like a conventional pour over, right? Because you're going to ruin your coffee. It's going to be diluted. It's not going to taste
Yep.
great. It's going to flow too fast. But with this, you can,
That's right.
and
You
then
can just stop.
you can
Yep.
just pull it off, right? So you
Yep.
get like that. So you could like agitate like never before. You could change brew ratios on the fly. So it ends up being
Who's
like a really fun way to brew. It's your playground.
who's come up with that recipe then? That's the one you told me about, that gentleman.
Yeah. So his name is Lin Dongyuan, and
Okay.
he is a barista from Taiwan. His
Okay.
coffee shops are called Gabi Dian.
Okay.
Gabi Dian is like a coffee shop in I
Hmm.
want to say Hokkien, like
Okay.
in one of the Taiwanese dialects.
Okay.
And he came up with this recipe to coincide with 20 years in the business of brewing
Hmm.
coffee and having his own shop. And he was trying to kind of like take the best of everything, of all the different brew techniques that exist out there, and then build a recipe around what ends up in your cup. And
Yep.
this is
Because
kind of
that.
what
Yep.
he came forward with. Yeah. So I have a 15-gram guide. I have a 20-gram guide.
Okay.
And again, I mean, the really critical insight here, let me walk you through this one more time,
Uh-huh.
is, I mean, we are trying to cut out astringency altogether,
Yep.
right? And what we want to do is we want to focus on these three flavors, and they kind of extract roughly in this order. We have the acidity first, then
Mm-hmm.
sweetness, then bitterness, right? And we're probably going to want to just go right down the middle on acidity. We're going to try to maximize sweetness, minimize bitterness. And then on top of all this, you might notice that we're not really optimizing for body. And that's
Yep.
because we felt that at the end of the day, the grinder that you're using and the grind setting you're using really have a much bigger impact on body than how you're pouring, if you really
Yes.
think about it. So, I
Exactly.
mean,
You're right.
if you're using like a conical burr, like
Mm-hmm.
that's going to that's going to have more texture, more
Yep.
body. Whereas like with our flat burrs, I mean, it's true, right? We could chase those different things. So, you know, we wanted to move away from kind of that dichotomy in the cup and have that be kind of something that is more about the grinder. And we wanted to just have those three core flavors of acidity, sweetness, and bitterness, and then
Okay.
figure out kind of like a happy medium between those.
Okay. Sam, that's
Yeah.
awesome, buddy. That's
Hey,
awesome.
I know we're hitting on an hour here, but before we hop off, do you want to have a tour of the office?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Let's
Let's
do
take a
it.
look.
All right, let's do it. So,
So, by the way, if you have people joining us, I'm here with the Sam from Timer. This is a live from Shanghai right now. Oh,
yeah.
wow. So you actually have all the products in your office.
This is Yeah, so it's really funny. We are expanding. We're having a lot more tables move in right now.
Hmm.
And what that means is that we don't really we had to move all of our products, which were formerly scattered across the office, to this one kind of cabinet, or this one shelf area. So we have everything that we've kind of, or a lot of what we've made over the last couple of years. So here we have the Duo. Um, we have something here signed by a WDC. I'm sorry,
Okay.
WBC champion, World Brewers Cup.
Hmm.
Um, this is I love just like looking at everything. Yeah, this is over here. This is our secret lab where secret things happen.
Okay.
This is our canteen. Very beautiful. It was actually designed by Yue, our designer. He also
Okay.
has a house that looks very similar to this.
So what kind of
You can
coffee machine you have in your office?
I'll show you. We actually have a La Marzocco Mini.
Well, you guys have
We
mini.
have
Okay.
Yeah, or a Linea
Okay.
Mini. Sorry.
Yeah, Lydia. Yeah, you got the mini.
Yeah,
Goodness.
yeah. We have this, which is really funny because this is Fiorenzato
Fianzaro,
machine, and
yeah.
yeah, the F64E. And it's
Okay.
funny because a lot of people find it a little intimidating, so they end up using the M01, which is one of the new grinders from Mill Lab, or they
Okay.
use
Yes.
the E01 or the 078S, which
Yep.
disappeared. It was here
Yep.
to grind their coffee.
So how
Yeah,
often
so
people is yeah, how often people is gonna use that machine? Is all the
this
employee
one.
knows how to use it? Yeah,
Oh,
mini.
this one? Oh my God, every day. So I'll tell you something great. Like we had a training session. We have a lot
Hmm.
of technical roles in Timor that don't necessarily involve coffee. But what we did is we still had a class for everybody who brews coffee, or for everybody who works at the office. If
Yep.
you wanted to learn how to brew coffee, like brew espresso, you could come in and learn how to steam milk. You could learn how to do the pour over, everything, right? We walked them through like the philosophy of making great coffee.
Uh-huh.
And to us, it's like it's a joyous thing. It's our slogan. I'll show you is more time for coffee life,
Okay. More time
and
for
we're
coffee life. All
more
right.
time for coffee life. We're working on figuring out how to get that to read a little bit better in English.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a
Wow.
big part of what we do. So we want to make sure that everybody in Timor brews coffee. So everybody uses the espresso machine. There's usually a big line for it, especially around like 9, 10, 11 in the morning.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
people, get to have breaks and make coffee regularly. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. Look at you guys. You guys
Yeah.
are doing, man, that's awesome, buddy. Sounds like
This
the
is,
very fun
oh,
place to
yeah,
work.
it's a blast. So this is our design wall.
Okay.
You can see kind of some of the different products that we've made over the years. Here's actually a all of our burrs.
Yep.
Yeah, which you're intimately familiar with.
Hmm.
We got our drippers. This is I would love to talk to you about this later. This is the bricks.
Oh
Somebody
yeah.
was asking if this is a real product. It's a real product, and it's amazing. It's super fun to use.
What is it exactly? Is that grinder?
That is our new espresso grinder. Yeah, it's a new espresso grinder for home.
No kidding. Okay, so it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is real. Okay.
it is real. What I'll show you one other cool thing about this is that this
Yeah.
hopper, this is a grind adjustment mechanism.
Okay.
You add your coffee in here. The best thing is you could actually rotate it,
Oh wow,
pop it
from the
open,
top. Yeah.
access your burrs. Yeah, there's even a little coffee in there.
Is that
Yeah,
conical birds?
conical burrs.
You know the size of it, or is that secret?
It's 42
Okay.
millimeters.
Okay,
Yeah.
42 mil.
Mm-hmm. And
Wow.
then I'll show you one last thing. I'll show you all
Oh
of
yeah.
the designs, all the awards that we've been accumulating recently.
Yeah. By the way, so when you guys going to live with that bricks then?
That's going to be happening very soon. If not
Okay.
Q4,
Okay.
because we're really closing out on it, it's going to be probably Q1. That's
Okay.
production ready. Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually the bricks actually just won the a good design award for one of the best 100 products submitted to the entire show that year.
Wow.
Yeah, huge accomplishment. Here's our work area, devoid of people right now, but we did turn on all the
Okay.
lights.
Okay.
There we go. Hmm.
That's nice. That's very
Yeah,
clean, by the way.
this
How
is
many
where all
people
of our
yeah.
designers are.
How many people are
Yeah,
working?
more every day. I'll say that.
Okay, so I
It's,
guess you guys are growing, right? The companies are growing.
for sure. There's a lot of
Okay.
people coming in.
Hey, by the way, so do you know the price range for that bricks then? Do you know the range of that price?
Yeah, we're hoping, it's definitely TBD, but I'm
Okay.
hoping to aim for between 250 to $300. Hopefully it's going to be lower than that.
Ah, got
I'm
it.
just giving
Okay.
you an estimate on the high side
Sure,
because
it's okay. Yeah, oh
I'd
yeah.
rather under promise and over deliver.
Exactly. So it's gonna be you're gonna okay. The one thing I'm very picky about is you're gonna have a own power supply or just the one core.
It's going to just be that one cord for that model.
Perfect.
It's kind of
Good.
something for
Good.
home. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because I know, yeah.
So you can see it's just built directly into the machine.
Yep. Good.
Mhm.
Excellent. Because I know some grinders out there has this very big power brick, you know.
Yeah. I've seen them
Excellent.
too, where it's it's super low profile actually. Everything is actually inside. The power supply is actually inside
Yep.
of the unit. It's super clean, and it also has like all the great ergonomics
Hmm.
you know from like the time or from the sculptor.
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
magnetic. The rotary knocker.
Is that metal
It's like
built
it's
as well?
metal.
Okay. Okay,
The
good.
only component on here that's not metal is the
Sure.
hopper
Hopper,
and the
okay.
rotary knocker as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Man.
everything else is all metal, so it's really planted. It's really nice to use.
Man, you know what? I'm telling you, Sam, the grinder markets are so competitive. Okay. Extremely
Yeah,
competitive. So
no doubt.
again, but I'm glad you guys coming up with very entry level price for everybody, you know,
Yeah,
because some of the hand grinders are out there, $200-$300. So, if you come up with a nice quality, electric grinders for, around 300, I think you're in the right market. That's for sure. Okay.
absolutely.
So hopefully
It's
like you said, like first quarter of 2025. Okay.
fingers crossed. Fingers
Uh,
crossed. I'm not sure where it's going to be distributing yet, but we'd
mhm.
love to get it into North America. We worked to make sure that it can do like up to 40 grams of coffee at a time. So I
Okay.
mean, more than enough for like a V60. And again, great burrs for if you're looking to do anything from espresso. They're a little bit more espresso focused, but
Sure.
it also makes great pour over. I've made pour over with it, and it's nothing to sneeze at.
So it's not going to be like a Kickstarter item, right? It's going to be just sell directly through your website, correct?
I believe we're going to just sell it directly through our website.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
Sam, it's been a lot of fun. Okay, we got to do one more time, okay, before the year's
Absolutely.
over, and then because send me the information, so I'm going to be practicing it. And then before we
Yeah.
go on live again, let's have some
Mhm.
fun with it. All right.
Yeah. And I will say
Thank.
that this I'm answering a question down here. It is going to have S2C burrs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Mhm.
S2C is the okay. That's the one. What's the S2C means? I
That's a
remember.
great question. Means spike to cut.
Spike to cut. That's right. Spike to
Spike to cut.
cut.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the idea is like, I mean, it breaks the
Yep.
particles up. It breaks the particles up very coarsely at first, and then
Yeah.
it breaks them up more finely.
Exactly. Spike to cut. All right, buddy.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning for you and this evening. Hey, and thank you
Absolutely.
so much. I know your day up, but yeah, thanks again, Sam.
No, Hoon, this was such a pleasure. Thanks for having me, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
Oh, we
Wow.
will. All right. Talk to you soon. Okay. All right.
All right. Absolutely.
Bye
Take care. Bye bye.
bye. Okay, so that's the Sam from Timor joining us from Shanghai. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're gonna have Sam again next time as well. So we're gonna brew with his recipe. Okay, guys. Talk to you guys soon.